Okay, so Scott is stalking his ex-girlfriend, Kathy.
Oof.
But he realizes he's too exposed outside, so he needs to find a place to hide out. Luckily, the neighbors across the street seem to be leaving for the day. Okay. So he breaks into their home, starts rummaging through their fridge when the back door opens and the homeowners return.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's pick up in part 2 right away. I'm Meg.
And I'm Catherine.
And this is The Vibes Are Off. Let's get into it. So on October 18th, 2003, he finally made it to John and Carla Wright's home. And he was angry that Kathy wasn't there. So he decided that he was going to stake out the home until she returned, because he's totally in his right mind, in a good place. This is going to pan out for him, right? And he thinks he's found the perfect place to hide when he hears 76-year-old AJ and 70-year-old Patsy Cantrell leaving their home just across the street from the Wrights. So the Cantrells live here and the Wrights live here. So they're leaving. He hears them leaving and talking about the day that they're going to have out of the house. So he breaks into their house using an open window in the back of the house. Because, again, we're in a small town in Oklahoma where they trust each other. So when he got inside, he found a .410 shotgun, which for anybody who's, like, not super familiar with guns, that's a pretty small shotgun compared to like other shotguns. It's commonly kept to shoot like squirrels or like small game. So it's not like a serious like
Right, but he still has a firearm.
But he's got a shotgun, which is
we don't
not great for anybody. No. And then I don't know why this really pisses me off, but he raided their fridge. And he just starts, like, eating all their food.
Right.
I'm like,
oh, homemade.
That's so rude. Yeah. Right. But that just tells you, like, he's going to be there a while. Like, he's ready to post up. So he is eating all their food and had his head, like, in the fridge when the Cantrells returned home unexpectedly.
Can you imagine?
No.
Oh my God. I'm just like, your house now. I'm out.
Right. Well, and they're elderly. Yeah. So obviously surprised by the intruder pointing their own gun at them, AJ and Patsy try to remain calm. It's, again, unclear what happens here because the only story we have is Scott's. But from what I can gather, this is my best version of events. So it's unclear how long he had them hostage, and I refuse to give Scott's version of the day any credit. What we do know is that Patsy was shot in the back, and she died pretty much almost instantly from her wound. AJ was beaten with the butt of the shotgun.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Scott beat him so severely his skull fractured. Which, like, you hear about skull fractures all the time, but, like, it's really hard to fracture someone's skull.
Right.
Your skull is very hard.
Even an elderly person, it's still very difficult.
Yeah. So, yeah. He then drug AJ and Patsy's bodies to the bathroom. And this is the part of Scott's story that I do believe during this time. All of what he says happens during Patsy being shot and AJ being beaten, I don't believe. But he does say that he drug him to the bathroom and that he could hear Mr. Cantrell still breathing in the bathroom. And he said that's why he placed Mrs. Cantrell's body on top of him to be sure that, like, he couldn't get up and attack him again, is what he said. Yeah. Scott is the worst kind of person.
Wait, what did he say happened? I know it's a lie, but was he like, they attacked me and I had to shoot her?
He said that AJ, the old man, he said that he was playing it cool. Everybody was cool. They were sitting there having a conversation.
With a gun pointed
Patsy
at him.
had even, like, talked him out of, because they knew who he was. Patsy had talked him out of, like, going to confront Kathy.
Okay.
And everything was going to be fine. But that Patsy had, like, gotten up, I guess, to, like, go to the restroom. And right then is when AJ, like bum rushed him and grabbed the gun or like I guess was trying to shoot at him, but shot his wife instead. So he says AJ
for it.
Shot his own wife.
Okay, buddy.
And then in self-defense, he had to beat the shit out of a 76-year-old man
whose home he broke into.
Right. Yeah. In self-defense.
Okay. All right. So does
Fuck
AJ survive?
No.
Oh.
So yeah. I'm trying to like get back on track here because it's awful. Yeah.
Did he leave?
We're gonna get there.
Oh no.
But I just like, because I wrote in here too, like these people are in their 70s. Mm-hmm. Even if whatever he said happens, like he did not need to beat AJ to death. No. He didn't have to do any of it. No. None of it. They weren't even his targets.
Right.
Right.
He just wanted to kill.
He wanted to get across the street. Mm-hmm. That's what I wrote. He wanted to kill somebody. And he was angry and he wanted to murder, and that's why he did it.
Yeah.
Like there's no self-defense. There's no you shot. And he even said, because I'll bring it back to the car, he said that's what that old woman did, or that's what that old man did, and I shot his wife because of it. Like he told on himself later.
Yeah.
So
we know you did it.
Anyways, so after murdering AJ and Patsy Cantrell, Scott stayed in their home. So the whole time he like can kind of hear AJ breathing. Oh, and again, so he had all this time. Ugh. He could have called somebody. He could have done something. And
Jesus Christ.
They had a little dog that he like trapped. And it makes me sad because T-Rex is here. Trapped the little dog inside the bathroom with his like dead owners. Isn't that awful?
God.
I mean, just a
monster.
He's a monster.
Chilled with their bodies and
yep.
AJ slowly suffocated.
Yep. And because he was still waiting for Kathy. So I guess though enough time went by, and he was frustrated that she still wasn't there, and he was probably a little bit worried about maybe
someone's coming to look for
exactly.
them. Yeah.
He decided, I'm just going to go over to the Wright home. So Kathy was not there, but her 16-year-old son, Tyler Montgomery, was there, along with her mother, Carla Wright, so the grandmother. And they were the only ones in the house at that time. So Kathy's son and mother were in the house. Tyler was in the living room while Carla was in the kitchen baking a cake for the church. Baking a cake. So Scott came in. He's got the shotgun still. And he's even loaded his pockets with like ammunition. Yeah. So he's ready to do some harm. So he comes across Tyler first, who obviously upon seeing his mother's crazy ex
with
a shotgun, tried to run and get a weapon of his own. Scott shot him in the lower back as he was running away.
Jesus.
And I guess kind of left him there, and then went into the kitchen where Carla was and began to beat her in the head again with the butt of the shotgun. So I guess he just gets some kind of pleasure out of beating people in the head with it.
Clearly, yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
A murderous rage.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I think too, it's like, I think he had more rage for AJ across the street, and he had more rage for Carla.
Yeah.
Because that's her mother.
Yeah.
So I think that it's like, it's more intimate, you know? So while he was in the kitchen, though, Tyler crazily was able to get up and he was able to make it out to his truck to like try to run and get help. Baby. So he's like somewhat paralyzed because he was just shot in the lower back and just like trying to make it to his truck to get help. But before he could get away, Scott jumped into the bed of his truck with the shotgun in the bed of the truck. So keep in mind, Tyler's already been shot once, and he's trying to swerve the truck to knock Scott out of the back, but it wasn't working. And Scott was able to reload the shotgun, and he took another shot at Tyler, this time hitting him in the shoulder.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Tyler knew he could not give Scott like a chance to reload again.
Yeah.
So he actually drove as fast as he could towards the football field, like the hometown football field, where his grandpa was announcing football game, the high school football game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was like, that's the only thing he could think of.
Right.
I just need to get to somebody who can help. And he was pretty close when he heard Scott getting ready to fire again. So doing the only thing he could think of, he rammed his truck into a telephone pole.
Great.
Yeah. And it hurt Scott enough that Tyler was able to actually get out of the truck and like run for help. Unfortunately, though, it didn't keep Scott down for long.
Oh my God, this guy is like the Terminator.
I know.
What the heck?
It's wild. And he soon started running towards the woods, though. So thankfully, he didn't go after Tyler. Right. He went to run away. And Tyler was able to get help. Yeah, exactly. And they were able to call the police and get help for Tyler. So Tyler and Carla, both alive.
Oh, Carla's okay.
Carla's alive. Yeah. Yes. Maybe okay is not there.
Yeah, alive. Yeah, we'll take it.
But Scott's nowhere to be found, which is crazy.
Like, hey, he's on a murder spree, y'all.
Right. Oh, no, yeah. They're like, well, and they don't even know about the neighbors yet. The neighbors yet. Oh. Yeah. So little do they know, Scott has been offered a ride from a concerned citizen. So a guy named John Inman saw Scott walking down the road with a gash on his head. That's what he noticed first from being run into the telephone pole. Worried, he offered him a ride to the hospital. So Scott gets in, but once Scott's in the car, he tells John that he needs to stop by his house before he goes to the hospital. And just trying to be a nice guy, John's like, sure. So he starts like following his directions, but it's not long before they're on like a backcountry road and there's no like homes around. And John's like, where are we going?
Yeah.
Where are we going? So he gets now a little bit worried because he sees the gun. So he asks Scott to disarm. I mean, keep in mind, they're in a small town in Oklahoma. So it wasn't unusual for someone to like be carrying a shotgun around.
You're being a little shifty.
You're being shifty. So he asks him to like, what do you call it? Like not like unload it. Yeah. Disarm it. And when Scott refused, they actually got into a little bit of a tussle.
Yeah. Because like, you're a little unhinged. Yeah. You gotta go. Get out of my car.
So Scott like pointed the gun at his head. Thankfully, John was able to like
duck real quick.
Well, he like wrestled the gun just enough and was able to kind of like push Scott out of the car.
Okay.
And he took off. And he drove right to the police department and told them what happened. And then what happened next is still considered one of the largest manhunts in the history of Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh. Okay, tell me.
So let's get into it. Captain John Davis was assigned lead investigator once the attempted murder of Tyler Montgomery and Carla Wright was reported.
Okay.
It didn't take long for them to find the Cantrells across the street. They knew Scott was armed, dangerous, and desperate. They immediately relocated Kathy and the rest of her family to a safe location.
Jeez. Can you imagine getting that call? Like,
no.
Your son is shot. Your mom was beaten almost to death.
And the neighbors are dead.
You got to hide.
And it's your ex. I can't imagine.
You can't ever, like, I don't know how you live.
Right.
Like,
how do you
go on from that?
Right.
To be like, I divorced my husband.
Yeah.
Of however many years to go be with this guy.
After a couple months.
Who murders everybody.
Yeah, turned out to be a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Scott was able to remain hidden for 3 days before police really even got their first lead on where he might be.
He's just in the woods.
Yeah. So a man named Rodney Lewis called police to report a break-in. He said a person had broken into his home, stolen clothes, food, and a .380 caliber pistol. He also reported some bloody clothes that had been left behind.
Like, come get these.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Scott Eizember was long gone by the time police arrived. He decided to ditch the shotgun because it was bulky and a murder weapon. And now he had this 380. So he's like, I don't need the shotgun. I'll keep this 380.
Didn't the guy take it from him when they were wrestling in the car?
No, he just kind of he had used it to kind of push him out, but he didn't like take it with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But now he ditches the shotgun. He's got the 380, and he would spend the next week surviving like a wild animal in the forest.
Yep. He is a wild animal, so that tracks.
And he somehow managed to avoid a massive manhunt going on all around him.
2003?
Yes.
Yeah, they have like LiDAR technology.
Yeah.
They have helicopters.
I don't know how he avoided them, but for a solid week was out in the wilderness. But at this point, he's starving and he's tired. He
needs to break into another house. Yeah.
He knew he needed to get out of the elements, and he was just trying to think of a place that he could go that he knew. And again, I guess I didn't explain it when I was talking about John and where he took him. Was it John? Yeah, the guy who picked him up.
Yep.
He took him like out of town.
Okay.
So he was like a little bit away from Depew now. But he decided, okay, I need to make my way back to Depew, which is wild work.
Interesting.
Because he remembered though at the church, the Methodist church, they had like a storage area where they kept food and like supplies for people in need. So like a separate building that people didn't go in that often that would have everything he would need to lay low. So he's like, I'm going to head back to Depew somehow. Again, wild. Okay. So that happened. The murders happened on the 18th. October 29th is when he broke into the church parsonage. That's what they called the building with all the stuff, the parsonage. And he was able to live there for 3 weeks undetected.
What?
3 weeks. He lived in there. He had
just having a monster right next to you
in
for
the church.
3 weeks.
Yeah, they're doing church services over there, and the murderer. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. So he had plenty of food and clothes. There was even a small TV that Scott was able to watch and get information.
News coverage.
He was getting information about the manhunt for him on a little TV in this place.
Okay. They're like, we've searched the whole town. We can't find him.
Right.
He's like, got him.
It was insane.
Jeez.
It also, though, was like a real slap in the face that this is where he was hiding out, because that church obviously is where he met the Wrights and their daughter, Kathy. But it was also the place where the Cantrells had celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary, like not that long ago.
And like, was that where their funerals were?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Like,
and he's just there,
what a
hiding
monster.
out. But his, I guess, good luck would not last forever. Another thing though that pissed me off is listening. So his. Somebody that I'll get into later recorded him police phone calls with Scott. Okay. And so he tells his whole story. But he's talking about, this motherfucker is talking about eating like their steaks. And like, I ate so good. I had steak and like, I was so annoyed. I was like, the absolute nerve of this man.
Psychopath.
Like,
yeah.
You'll have to, I'll send you like a little bit of it because it is interesting to just hear him talk about it. Because you can clearly, there's no empathy, remorse, nothing.
Scary.
It's scary. But his luck did not last forever. And on the morning of November 23rd, 2003, Scott's secret hideout would be revealed.
Yay.
By 87-year-old Doyce Petrie.
I'm scared.
Doyce.
I'm scared.
I love her name, Doyce. Yeah. So she was going.
I want her to be okay.
She's okay.
Okay.
I'll give you that now.
I was like, don't take her out too.
I know. 87.
Can you imagine living to 87 and this
and
idiot
that happens.
That's in your patronage?
Yeah.
Or whatever is
the parsonage.
Yeah, your parsonage.
So
murders you.
I know.
Ugh.
So she was going to the parsonage to get some items for a family in need when she walked in and surprised Scott. Like,
why is the TV on? Huh.
Right. But it was like two like deer in headlights, like for a moment just staring at each other like, what do we do? What do we do?
If I was Joyce, I'd be like, I'm going to head right back.
That's what she did.
You have yourself a
she
great
was scared as hell. And after a moment of like, she immediately bolted.
Yeah.
And surprisingly quick for her age.
Yeah.
She was.
This is the fastest she's ever been.
Yeah. And like, thank the Lord that she didn't ask any questions or like hesitate. She was outie.
She's not about it.
I love that for Joyce. And Scott was like, oh, shoot.
Time to go.
I need to get out of here. And Joyce was in.
Coward he is.
Right.
He ran.
Oh, yeah. And Joyce was in such a hurry to flee. She did not get her keys out of the door because she like unlocked it, walked in. Surprise. Like, so Scott actually stole her car.
Fine. Bye.
Yeah, you can have the car. Right. Yeah. And this is kind of where our two stories
that was
collide.
Her car? That was Joyce's car?
Yes. So he didn't know where he was going, but he knew he needed to get out of Oklahoma. So he decided to drive towards Arkansas, where he eventually ran out of gas. And
so it was gas.
Yes.
You lying little shit.
But I think he was trying to avoid them being like, oh, we've got some gas in the back.
Right.
I think that was why he said that. Where he was picked up by Dr. Sam and Suzanne People. So police were already on the hunt for Scott the day that he was picked up by the Peoples. And they were looking for Scott in Joyce's car.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was really a problem that he had switched vehicles, but they got a lucky break when Scott stupidly really did call his ex Kathy when Suzanne offered to let him use his phone, her phone. What an idiot, right? So
can you imagine getting a phone call?
Right, Kathy's been in a safe house.
Oh,
the police have like set up, trackers on all her stuff already, right? Just hoping that he'll reach out. And Suzanne's like, hey, do you need to call your girlfriend? So what happened is the first time,
oh my God,
she hands him the phone, and I guess he just like can't think quick on his feet, so he really dialed her number. And when she answered, he hung up.
Oh.
And he was like, he hung up, but like pretended, but actually she called back.
Yeah.
And so they were able to find out that he was in Arkansas, one, and that
he was on somebody else's phone. Hopefully,
he possibly had the Peebles as hostages. Yes, because they were able to track it pretty easily to the Peebles.
Right.
And so they were like,
this
oh no,
is an elderly couple.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Why does he have their phone?
Right.
Where are the Peebles? And they're assuming from the get go that they're hostages.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Because we are.
Yeah. Please come get us. Thank you.
So at this point, Scott Eizember had led the Oklahoma police on a 37-day manhunt.
Oh my gosh.
37 days.
I mean, but 3 of those weeks, he was just chilling in the church.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing.
Ugh, idiot. He had brutally murdered 2 people, and he had assaulted 2 other. He then kidnapped and assaulted 2 more people, but his reign of terror was finally over. Scott confessed almost immediately.
I want to get a few punches in. Like,
I know,
oopsie.
right? And he's such a coward. He doesn't even try to like, what, me?
Defend
Who?
it, yeah.
No, he's like, yeah, almost immediately. But he showed no remorse for his actions. Right. Instead, he tried to blame it on everyone but himself, of course. He tried to claim that AJ shot his own wife, trying to get the gun from him. And then he had to kill AJ in self-defense. He said that he had to shoot Tyler because he was going to get a weapon when he ran away.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. And then he said he had to attack Mrs. Wright because she was holding a knife in the kitchen.
Why are you in their house?
Right. You're in their house.
You're safe not in
also,
their house.
She's baking a goddamn cake.
For the church.
Ugh. Idiot. I hate him so much.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He also claimed that he didn't want to kidnap the Peebles, but they wouldn't get out of the car.
Okay, buddy. I guarantee you that's not true.
Obviously, all of that bullshit. Everybody's calling bullshit. And it's obvious that he's just trying to minimize what he's done. So I'm going to talk about what Scott was convicted of in Oklahoma and like the sentencing for that. Because remember, he's done some stuff in Oklahoma, but he also kidnapped the Peebles in Arkansas.
Right. Okay.
So we're
multi-state.
Yeah, we got different things going on here. I'll say I'm sure that he faced criminal charges in Arkansas because of what he did to the Peebles, but I'm going to focus on again because Oklahoma's a bigger what happened there. Yeah. Like Arkansas is not like, no, we want a shot at him.
Right. Just execute him over there.
Right.
Thank you.
So Scott Eizember was convicted of second-degree felony murder in Mrs. Cantrell's death, first-degree malice murder of Mr. Cantrell, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon of Mrs. Wright, shooting with intent to kill of Tyler Montgomery, and first-degree burglary of the Wright home. Okay. Which I think is interesting that it wasn't like the Cantrell home.
Right.
But anyways, and I did right here. I think that Scott had a different, like because he had a different story and they couldn't say like beyond a shadow of a doubt what happened with Patsy. That's why that's the second degree.
I see.
Instead of first.
Okay. But still, throw away the key.
Right. So the state sought the death penalty as punishment for Mr. Cantrell's murder.
Okay.
Because that was like the first degree malice murder. And they presented the following evidence in support of 4 aggravating circumstances. So this is what they said. This is why he should get death. 1, during the commission of the murder, the defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to more than one person.
Yeah.
2, the murder was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel.
Yep.
3, the murder was committed for the purpose of avoiding lawful arrest or persecution.
Yep.
And 4, at the present time, there exists a probability that the defendant will commit criminal acts of violence that would constitute a continuing threat to society.
Yep. Check.
Yep. Scott Eizember received several sentences for the various crimes, including 150 years for the murder of Patsy Cantrell, which I love. Yeah. But for A.J. Cantrell, Scott was sentenced to death.
Bye.
Hook
him up right now.
Right.
No appeal.
Right? I wish. So Scott Eizember never showed any true remorse for the heinous crimes that he committed. He constantly tried to shift blame and downplay what he did. Of course, like any coward, Scott was afraid to die, and he did everything he could to get that death penalty overturned. His lawyer first tried to say that 2 of the jurors favored the death penalty. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. But, well, you can't, like, that's
impartial.
Right. That would be like invalidate his constitutional rights or whatever. Anyways, but they were like, nah. So when that didn't work, they then tried to say that the jury had misconceptions about the difference between life, like without the possibility of parole, and death. So they were trying to say that like, oh, well, they didn't realize that like if they just give him life without parole, that he'll be in jail for the rest of his life. Okay. Like he'll never get out. Their tiny little jury brains couldn't understand that. Bless you.
Oh my gosh, so sorry. I just was holding that in.
It's okay, baby. You're allergic to Scott's bullshit. That's what happened there.
You're disgusting.
Idiot. So obviously they did not think
reject that
that was it either. And so in a last ditch effort, he tried to claim that his rights were violated when the court allowed, I'm going to put this in air quotes, irrelevant and prejudicial evidence of other crimes and bad acts.
What were those?
So let me tell you what he thought the jury shouldn't have been able to hear about because this was specifically for the death penalty on the murder of A.J. Cantrell. So he didn't think it was fair that they heard the following evidence. 1, the appellant's affair with Kathy Biggs at the time, and his lies about his ex-wife and children dying. Because they heard all of that.
Okay.
2, the appellant's second-degree burglary of Kathy Biggs' Tulsa apartment and his threat to get even with her. So while he was arrested in Tulsa, he told like his cellmate that like he told her all this like stuff about Kathy and that he was going to get even with her. Okay. Maybe don't say it. Right.
Yeah, like,
but it's so unfair that they heard about that.
Poor baby.
3, the appellant's discharge of the weapon during the struggle with John Inman shortly after the shooting of Tyler Montgomery and the beating of Carla Wright. So he didn't think that they needed to know that he also assaulted another man after. Okay. 4, he didn't think that they should hear about the burglaries committed by him while on the run in the woods of Creek County. So, like, leaving the bloody clothes and stealing the gun.
Stuff, yeah.
They didn't need to know about that.
Don't ask questions.
And number 5, he didn't think they should hear about the kidnapping and beating of Sam and Suzanne Peebles.
Okay, buddy.
Irrelevant information.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And it made them all, they probably wouldn't have sentenced him to death.
Against him.
Right.
Yeah.
So
the judge was like, nah.
all of those appeals were denied.
Yeah.
And his death sentence was upheld.
Good. Let's get it over with.
Scott was held on death row in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day.
Good.
Which I love.
Love that for you.
But he continued to try and fight the death sentence.
Of course.
He even got himself a radical opposer of the death penalty, air quotes again, spiritual advisor, Jeff Hood.
Oh, is this the person
who did a podcast with him.
A podcast,
yeah,
you say?
It's a podcast.
How do you do a podcast from prison?
Oh, over the phone. It's terrible. I'm telling you, don't even look it up because...
We're not supporting that for sure.
And it's so low quality, you can't hear Scott very well.
Right, because he's in prison.
He's
death
in prison.
row.
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, but Jeff Hood, we'll show a picture of him. I've got a picture of him. He looks crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Like he looks like a cult leader. So it's not surprising.
Every road leads back to cults.
Yeah, it does. Well, and his whole thing is like, God doesn't want us to kill anybody, and it's his right to live. And who are we?
So he's
to decide.
He's chill with that guy killing people.
Well, he said he was sorry.
Did he?
Okay.
Did he?
No.
And
if he did, he didn't mean it.
Right.
Okay, Jeff, you've been swindled.
I don't think the Lord likes that.
No. But Jeff Hood, Scott, and his lawyer fought actually at the end for clemency in the months leading up.
Audacity of shitty men. I swear.
I'll tell you.
Like that. How does your head fit through the door? Honestly, with all that audacity.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then obviously like in these months where he's like fighting for clemency is when they're recording and releasing this podcast in which Scott tells his version of the story where he's the victim and everything. Great.
Gross.
Great for him. But justice finally came in January of 2023. So actually not that long ago.
20 years.
When Scott Eizember was executed at the age of 62. And I'll say, like, 20 years is a long time. Yeah. Dang. 20 years is a long time to wait. But I do get some solace that he was in solitary confinement for 23.
Miserable for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He got 1 hour outside of his cell.
A day.
Yeah. So that must have been pretty miserable, I hope. So his daughter... Because remember, Scott has kids.
Oh, yeah.
His daughter did attend, along with members of the Cantrell family.
Yeah.
AJ and Patsy Cantrell's nephew, Johnny Milton, made a statement after the execution. And it was so well done that I want to talk about it. Because I feel like it's really worth mentioning.
Well, I feel terrible for his daughter now.
Well, yeah.
But
she's still like, but she defended him too.
Oh.
She was like on his side. Yeah. I mean, but I guess like.
He beat your mom and you're like,
right.
Yeah, he's chill.
I don't get it. But she was there. Yeah. And like reports said that like he mouthed like, I love you to her before whatever. Anyways, back to Johnny Melton, the nephew of AJ and Patsy. He talked about how the justice system had its flaws. He brought up the fact that they had to wait 20 years for their justice and they had to sit through every appeal, which is a nightmare and exhausting to like have to relive it every time this man gets to make an appeal. He said that he understood the need to get it right, but that the system moves way too slow. He talked about his aunt and uncle and how their legacy now can like be detached from the terrible tragedy, and how they can like just remember them and not think about Scott anymore.
Yeah.
He talked about another tragedy in their family that happened mere months before the trial for Scott Eizember started in 2005. One of AJ and Patsy's daughters, they had 3 daughters, but one of the daughters was murdered by an ex-boyfriend who then killed himself. So it was a murder-suicide.
After her parents died?
And months before the trial for their murderer went.
God.
Isn't that crazy?
Do you think that he got the idea from their murder?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
But isn't that crazy?
That's awful.
Yeah. So the nephew spoke a lot about the epidemic of domestic violence.
Yeah.
And how it had taken 3 members of their family. He advocated for better resources, not just for victims, but for abusers. He urged for better mental health resources and ways to prevent the tragedies before they even occur. And I just thought that was like a really amazing speech to give after that. And so he was so well thought out and like so well put that like they've lost 3 family members and they all lead back to domestic violence.
Right.
And it really hits the issue. Like so many, I don't know the percentage, but I'm sure it's staggering of like how murders can lead back to domestic violence.
Yep. A lot.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll link that speech below so that you can watch it if you want to, because I was blown away at like how like he was well spoken but like very stern.
Yeah.
And like it was really good.
Like
so,
this needs to change.
This needs to change. Yeah. We can't continue to let this happen. So yeah. Many of the stories that we've covered, even in this podcast,
right,
have been linked to domestic violence. And I think it's always the question of like, how do we as a nation and as a world combat this?
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really makes you think. And like researching this, I was just so torn apart about it because I really was like thinking about all the episodes that we've done and how many of them are directly linked to domestic violence. Like almost all of them.
Yeah.
Almost all of them. So, yeah, it led me to some questions about, when are we going to get tougher laws? And when are we going to take it more seriously? When are we going to learn that a piece of paper, like a restraining order, does little or nothing to protect anyone? But you have to have faith that someday, somehow, things are going to get better. Because, like, how do you continue to, like, keep living if you don't have
all bad?
Right. If you don't have hope that things are going to get better. Yeah. So with that, at the end of this one, of course, I want to mention the National Domestic Violence Hotline. That's not the only way to get help, but it's just the one that comes to the top of my dome all the time. Their website has great resources. You also have the hotline number, which is 1-800-799-SAFE or 799-7233 if you're not a millennial and you don't know what the letters what the letters line up to. That is 7233. But reach out if you know anybody, if you're going through something, because like that's the only way that we're gonna
we
make
talk about it.
Crazy. But I thought that was like very impactful for him to like, okay, this has all come to head and all of these people were injured and hurt by this one man because of his rage towards a woman.
Yeah. This domestic violence.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyways, that is.
Right, well, thank you.
That's the story.
The vibes were way off in that story, Meg.
Yes, they were. But the vibes are always on here with us.
All right.
And we'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Love ya.
Love ya.
Bye. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube.
You can also find us on Instagram at The Vibes Were Off, TikTok at The Vibes Were Off Podcast, or good old-fashioned email at thevibeswereoff@gmail.com.